Primary and secondary school education is now free. Sarawak declares all-out war against stray dogs. Hello and good afternoon. I'm Mohana Priya. Welcome to News on 2. Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak has disclosed that the cost of education at primary and secondary levels today is free, with the government spending an average of 8,900 ringgit for each student annually. The Prime Minister said under Budget 2018, the government allocated 45.9 billion ringgit for the Education Ministry's operating and development expenditure. In his latest official blog posting, NajibRazak.com yesterday, Datuk Sri Najib said the expenditure includes providing educational assistance to more than 5.2 million pupils nationwide since the abolishment of school fees. Furthermore, textbook loans are now provided to all students compared to the past, whereby it was only given according to the income level of the parents. The government has also allocated 100 ringgit per student for 3.2 million students from low-income families under the One Malaysia Special Assistance for early lower primary education. According to Datuk Sri Najib, various initiatives have been implemented to ensure students, regardless of family backgrounds, can have access to education. Sarawak has declared an all-out war against stray dogs following reports of increase in bites by suspected rabid dogs in Kuching and in Julau in Sarike Division last month. The areas in Kuching Division where the increased dog bites were reported are Lorong Ketitir in Batu Kawah, Taman Maliha and Taman Sri Makmur in Matang, and Kampung Singai Atas in Bau. Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Amar Douglas Ugah Embas said the State Disaster Management Committee decided to launch an operation against stray dogs in response to the rising number of reported dog bites in a bid to curb the spread of rabies in the state. He added that the operation will begin today and focus on the new buffer zone between Kuching and Sibu mapped by the State Disaster Relief Committee.
We have decided to have a roadblock with the aim of stopping the movement of dogs and cats outside the buffer zone.
The operation is being organised by the State Local Government Ministry with the Police and Veterinary Services Department. Over 700 employers have submitted their applications to hire foreign maids via the Maid Online system SMO since the system kicked off on Monday. The new system started receiving applications since its inception and had already recorded over 25,719 visitors as of 12 p.m. yesterday. Immigration Director General Datuk Sri Mustafa Ali, in a statement, said about 702 applications were received and that some employers were unable to complete their application process as they didn't fulfill certain requirements. He added that the Immigration Department has identified several errors in the application process and taken steps to improve the system and ensure that it is fast and accurate. Datuk Sri Mustafa advised employers to prepare the relevant documents first before they start applying through the SMO to ensure a smooth application process. The online application system was first announced by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak in his Budget 2018 speech. It was announced that the employers would be able to hire maids directly from 9 countries, including Indonesia, the Philippines, Myanmar, Vietnam and Bangladesh, without going through an agent. 46 Malaysian volunteers would begin the MyCore Africa humanitarian mission tomorrow. Youth and Sports Minister Khairi Jamaluddin Abu Bakar said the volunteers would be sent for 2 months to 4 different countries in Africa, namely Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya and Sudan. Speaking after attending a gathering with volunteers of the MyCore Africa humanitarian mission, Khairi said the selected participants have been given training for 1 month to prepare themselves to face whatever possibility, and if everything goes according to plan, they will come back in early March.
Mereka akan terlibat dalam pelbagai program-program sukarelawan, termasuklah program-program yang ada kaitan dengan dengan perubatan, fisioterapi, pendidikan, pembinaan, social entrepreneurship, kemudahan asas dalam bekalan air dan juga sanitation and health dan juga apa sahaja program-program yang diperlukan di tempat deployment masing-masing.
My Call, which is an initiative under the Youth and Sports Ministry, is a voluntary project involving Malaysian youths aged between 18 and 30. Previously, the My Call voluntary program had been implemented in Cambodia, Syria, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Sudan and Lebanon. The body of a 13-year-old teen who drowned while swimming in the river near Kampung Gajah in Kuala Krai, Kelantan was found yesterday, shortly after he was reported missing. The victim, Muhammad Aiman Shafiq Barudin, a Form 1 student of Sekolah Kebangsaan Mani Urai, had gone swimming with his friends after school when the tragedy occurred. According to reports, the victim had drowned owing to the heavy rainfall that had caused the waters to rise and deepened the river. Kuala Krai Fire and Rescue Department Operations Commander Muhammad Hanif Sheikh Khalid said, upon receiving the emergency call at 3:25 p.m., 9 firemen rushed to the scene to begin the search and rescue operations. The victim's body was recovered at 3:44 p.m. and was handed over to the police for further action. Cosmetics millionaire Datuk Sri Alif Shukri Kamaruzaman admits he has overlooked the road tax validity of his Rolls-Royce that was impounded by the Road Transport Department RTD. However, the entrepreneur, who is popularly known as Abang Terlajak Laris, was furious with the backlash he received from the netizens. They accused him of cheating by using a Sarawak road tax when the said vehicle is in Peninsular Malaysia. Responding to the allegation on social media, Datuk Sri Alif claimed that the road tax and vehicle registration were handled by his management staff. The road tax for the luxury car is around 20,000 ringgit in Peninsular Malaysia, compared with 5,873 ringgit in Sarawak. A Rolls-Royce allegedly registered under D Herbs Holdings Sdn Bhd, a company founded by Datuk Sri Alif, was among 20 vehicles impounded by RTD during an operation in Jalan Bangsa on New Year's Eve. RTD Deputy Director General of Operations Datuk Wan Ahmad Uzair Wan Sulaiman had said the luxury car was rented and driven by an Australian man. He added that Datuk Sri Alif has 14 days to appear at RTD office to clear the matter. Flood victims in Pahang has increased to 1,924 people who are being housed in 15 relief centres since last night, compared to 677 victims at noon yesterday. Pahang Civil Defence Force APM Director Zainal Yusof said in Kuantan, 1,351 people were evacuated to 9 relief centres, while in Rompin there were 6 relief centres housing 573 evacuees. The relief centres with the most flood victims in Kuantan are at Sekolah Kebangsaan Fakih Abdul Samad with 241 people, followed by Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Gudang Rasau, 163 people. The 6 relief centres in Rompin are Kampung Setajam, SK Sarang Tiong, SMK Pontian Jaya, Wawasan Kampung Pianggu Multipurpose Hall, Sepayang Community Hall and Dewan Teluk Gading. According to the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, the other flood-affected states currently are Johor with 340 evacuees, Kelantan 76 and Terengganu with 333 evacuees as of 8 a.m. today, bringing the total to 2,673 evacuees nationwide. Meanwhile, the Regent of Pahang, Tengku Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah, has advised the people not to spread fake news on floods in the state. He hopes the negative news or information going viral on social media will stop, as it will be troublesome to flood victims.
Saya harap berita-berita yang negatif berkaitan dengan banjir kadang-kadang akan menyusahkan rakyat, khususnya rakyat kawasan pendalaman. Saya harap kita dapat hentikanlah berita-berita yang negatif, viral dan negatif, kerana ini akan menyusah semua pihak, khususnya pihak rakyat itu sendiri dan kerajaan.
Tengku Abdullah also thanked the federal and state government along with non-governmental organizations for coming forward to provide assistance to flood victims. He said this when visiting flood evacuees at Kampung Sri Damai Relief Centre in Kuantan. Tengku Abdullah, who was accompanied by Tengku Puan Pahang Tunku Aziza Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria, spent about 30 minutes meeting with the flood victims. Meanwhile, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Sri Shaidan Kasim, said flood victims would be receiving wang ehsan, or monetary aid, within 2 weeks after the floods recede. He said National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, would make the necessary arrangements to distribute the funds upon receiving the complete report from the District Office and Welfare Department in flood-hit states. In Johor, heavy rain in the east coast caused a landslide in Pulau Aur, some 76 kilometres from the mainland. The landslide caused some damage to the Malaysia Marine Park Department office on the island. According to the Pulau Aur resident, Hishamuddin Hussein, among the villages affected by the landslide were Kampung Teluk Berhala, Kampung Teluk Galing, Teluk Jung and Pulau Dayang.
Daripada 5 tempat yang berlaku tu, ada 2 tempat yang besar dan dekat dengan penduduk. Manakala 3 lagi tu jauh dengan penduduk. Dan yang paling besar sekali berada di Batu Musuh. Itu tempat dekat dengan penduduk lah. Dan berada di bawah betul-betul batu Chinese Rock.
The flood situation in the east coast side of Johor also worsened, with the number of victims doubling in Kota Tinggi and Mersing within 24 hours. Mersing is the worst hit area, with floodwaters forcing 309 residents to evacuate to 7 relief centres. Kota Tinggi has 31 victims from Kampung Bukit Raja and Kampung Sungai Buntu being housed at 2 relief centres. In a related development, Mersing residents have been warned to take precautions in view of the over 3.35 metre high tide phenomenon that has been forecast to take place in the coming days. Mersing District Officer Azhari Kasnan said several enforcement agencies have been deployed to the potential locations to monitor the situation. Among these locations are Endau, Kampung Air Merah and Kampung Air Papan.
Mana-mana penduduk yang berhampiran dengan sungai itu yang belum pindah, mungkin akan dipindahkan malam ni. Dan sebenarnya usaha-usaha itu pun telah dibuat sejak petang tadi sebab mereka pindah lebih dahulu.
Azhari was speaking to the media after surveying the flood situation in Kampung Air Papan, Mersing, yesterday. And in a related development, the government and insurance companies are in the midst of negotiations to provide protection for residents affected by floods nationwide. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Sri Dr. Shaidan Kasim, has disclosed that the insurance companies were not able to fulfill several conditions. Datuk Sri Dr. Shaidan said the insurance companies were not willing to accept the government-proposed scheme, adding that only one insurance company offered a suitable scheme in Terengganu. He, however, hoped that more companies would participate and offer the best deal for those affected by floods. The Director General of the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, Dato' Abdul Rashid Harun, said they will continue to negotiate with insurance companies to find a favourable solution to the issue. The NADMA proposed scheme will only charge recipients 10 ringgit and the balance of the cost will be borne by the government, with compensation. Milestone to the Malaysian futsal scene has been reached following the nomination of national men's team coach Chew Chun Yung for Coach of the Year by the Amro Futsal Awards 2017. The list of 10 includes the likes of Brazil's Wilson Saboya, Diego Raul Gustozzi of Argentina, and Jose Venancio Lopez Hierro, the coach of world number 1 Spain. Chun Yong, a former national player between 2002 and 2008, has been in charge for only 15 months but has already guided the team to SEA Games silver medal and to a runner-up finish at the Asian Football Federation Futsal Championships in Vietnam. Hailing from Pulau Pinang, Chun Yong is a self-taught coach who played football at the FAM Cup level for Intel Technology, where he also worked as a technician. He has in-depth knowledge on futsal and has been invited to give talks on the sport overseas and is currently in South Korea conducting seminars for high school and league players. Over the last 10 years, Chun Yong has been formulating a specific method that will suit the Malaysian style of play. A hand-picked selection of futsal experts from around the globe will decide the winners, and voting windows open from January 1st to the 8th. This afternoon's edition of News on 2. In our top story today, Sarawak declares all-out war against against stray dogs following increase in rabid bites cases. Join us again at 7 to 9 for more updates. Until then, I'm Mohana Priya. Thanks for watching.